Your boys heading to the NFL draft. As you guys know, we talked about it on the channel. I can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of YouTubers that I'm gonna meet out there. J Tuck, Camber, Professor O is gonna be out there. Mary Ellis is gonna be out there. Mariella. Um, my guy Elton's gonna be out there. Uh, Spoonie's gonna be out there. It's gonna be a lot of Cowboys YouTubers out there, but just a lot of fans and stuff as well. So if you're out there, let me know. Feel free to tweet me at DMV Dallas Cowboy. Actually, I'm sorry, it's DMV Fanatic One. So yeah, very interested to see how this draft falls. There's been uh, a lot of things going on right now. A lot of moves being made. A lot of trades. Teams trying to trade up in the draft. So it's very interesting to see. I think that the top 10 is really going to set the tone of this draft. Probably really the first pick because nobody really knows who the first pick is going to be. And it's like Jacksonville can go so many different ways. They can go with the edge rusher. They could go with the tackle. I think on Vach's mock draft today, we saw them go tackle. What's going on, Roscoe? What's going on, Michael? How y'all doing? Um, and I think that the first pick is really going to set the tone of this draft and how it goes. I mean, it's just so many different ways that it could go, and I think that the Cowboys will have an opportunity to pick somebody up at the 24th pick, somebody that we didn't think was going to be there. Uh, Stage says if Pickens is available at 56, you want us to draft him. It really just depends, really, because if my guy Trey, the tight end from Colorado State is still there, I would rather have him because we could leverage 12 personnel a little bit more. He could split out to the Y. So if I can get me the best tight end in the draft, I'm going to do so there. A tight end that's going to be a mismatch problem. I think that that helps our offense a little bit better. Somebody that we can pair up with Schultz, somebody that we don't have to take off the field, and we can line up in different formations out of the 12. So what's going on, Blue Virus? Michael Beer says, "Are we trading up?" I don't believe so. If I'm Dallas, I don't trade up. I stay where I'm at because there's going to be a talent that falls to 24 that we don't expect to be there. Hear me again. There's going to be a talent there that we don't expect to be there that is really a top 10 talent that's going to fall to us. Um, it's so weird, man. I've never seen such back and forth for NFL draft. I've never seen so much back and forth as far as mock drafts go. As far as like really the sources out there really have no idea who's picking where, and really what it's made us guys like me who does draft analysis, guys like Tuck, it's made us have to really get in our bag for different scenarios. That's the biggest thing right there is just the scenarios. So many different scenarios. Could I see us trading back for more picks? If there's about three or four guys that the Cowboys have at their top 30 visits, I could see them trading back and getting more picks that way. You know what I'm saying? So, very, very, very interested to see. I can't really wait. I can't wait. Um, it was really hard for me this morning, really leaving my kids, but now it's really set in with me sitting at the airport that I'm really going to the draft. This is my second draft. I was able to go to Dallas back in 2016. So, and then I was supposed to go to Vegas a couple years ago for the draft, but then COVID hit, and so now we're making that up. And I'm really excited to meet with a couple of guys that we've had virtual chats and we've talked on the phone and we've texted, but like Jay Tuck. I've never met Jay Tuck, but we've had we've had countless conversations, countless back and forths on Twitter. We've done a couple shows together, so I'm interested to finally meet my guy, Cowboys fan only. And yeah, C. Burles has said this draft is going to shock a lot of Cowboys fans. I definitely agree, and I think that it's going to be a really good one for us if we let the board fall to us. Don't force anything. Let's see. When you going to coach in the Cowboys? Because I know you coach the youth. Man, I don't know, man. If the Cowboys ever brought me, if somebody ever asked me to do a job for the Cowboys, whether it be scouting, whether it be something of that nature, I definitely would move to Texas to do so. I'm flying from BWI, so I'm in the Baltimore area. My name ain't DMV for nothing, and I know that I'm from Virginia, but I'm all over the DMV. It's actually crazy. All of the different connects and all of that stuff that I know from Maryland, D.C. Area. Stage said, "Would I take Sam Williams at 88?" It just depends on how the board falls. I personally like the player, but I do know that there's some red flags there, and if there was no red flag, absolutely. But I mean, with Kelvin Joseph and the things that happened with him, I don't think that we could take that chance right now on a risk. And if I'm going off my gut right now, I don't do it. You know, just off the headlines and all of the stuff that we've had to deal with over the past couple of weeks. So that's where I'm at with that. Nothing wrong with the player. I think that he's a really good player. I think that he's raw. I think that he has really good athleticism. I think that a good coach is going to make him a really good player, but it's like, are you going to take that risk? And are you prepared for the risk? Do you have the locker room? Do you have the environment to take that risk? So, yeah, that's what we have to think about. And right now, I don't think Dallas has all of those things that I named for Sam Williams. I think that Dallas really is living a PR nightmare, not just with Kelvin Joseph, but with the PR, the head of the PR guy stepping down, Jerry having, a love child out there. All of the guys really, it's the bad negotiations, the sour relationship with Amari Cooper. I just don't think Dallas can take another PR nightmare at this point. Not with not with all that's transpired. What's going on, Lola? I appreciate you. Thank you. You guys stay tuned in because I'm going to be doing a lot more videos out in Vegas. And it's not just the NFL draft that I'm going to cover. I'm going to cover the weigh-in for the boxing event that's going to be out in Vegas. There's going to be Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson. That's happening in Vegas too. So me and Elton are going to team up and we're going to be at the weigh-in. So I'm going to do that live. Michael Beers says, I used to live in Hampton, VA. Bad news. It's actually funny. So there's a story. I went to ODU for a year. Yep. So I'm familiar with the 757 area. Before I went to Howard and played football, I went to ODU for a year, and then I decided to transfer, and I played 3 years at Howard. So yeah, I'm familiar with the 757 area. As a matter of fact, I was down in Virginia Beach a couple weeks ago for my daughter's cheerleading competition. So yeah, 757 is definitely love, man. Definitely. They got some football players in that area too. A lot of players go from the 757 to the pro area to the NFL. It's definitely a athlete area, and it's pretty much like Florida the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. Second round, I just hope that the Cowboys do not take a risk as far as an injury risk in the second round. I don't think so. Here's my whole draft perspective. Dallas has to be able to get three starters in this draft. Two guys that are day ones, and one that eventually becomes a starter. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say that again. Dallas has to get at least three starters from this draft. Two being day ones, and one being a guy that eventually becomes a starter in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So we have a lot of picks, and my thing is, we don't have to rush anything. We can just stay where we are, and if just let the draft board fall how it may, and maybe we package some picks up like in the later rounds to come up. For me, I'm not about trading up into the first round. I think that we should trade back up into the. We should get another third round pick or a fourth round pick, because I think that there's a lot of depth in the third and the fourth round, and for me, we don't. I mean, we're not going to use like all of those fifth round picks aren't going to make the team. Maybe the fourth round pick doesn't make the team, but if you could somehow package some things together and get back up and get maybe another top 100 pick or a top 150 pick or something like that, I think that Dallas should do that, because I think that you have a better shot at getting a quality player there than you do later on in the draft. What's going on, Dre the Great? Lola, do we get Smith replacement? I think that it just depends on how the draft board falls. If one of those top tackles falls to you at 24, go ahead and pull the trigger. And then I think that, that person gets started at right tackle. And then we're looking at, switching him over to left tackle next year. Michael Beers. Heck yeah, it is. I love the VA. That's where my heart is for real. But who do you want to pick with number 24? Because I know you always say control the middle of the field. I want my number one guy that I want at 24 is Jordan Davis. Um, and I'm putting it on record, and I put it on record. I want Jordan Davis. That's who I want there. I'm not. If they get a receiver, that's fine. I'm personally. This is how I feel about receiver. I feel like we've given like if we couldn't do nothing with the weapons that we had last year when it counted, what are we gonna do with another receiver besides waste another weapon? I think that we need to try a different approach, and for me, it's more so maybe defense. Making the defense a great unit, and then building around Micah Parsons. And offensively, if we were to do that, I'm not mad at a guard. Again, like we have so many holes that if they went guard and they went to guard direction, that's fine. Um, but yeah, I think that building our defense and building our 12 personnel should be what Dallas does. Because again, we had three really good receivers last year who barely touched the field together, and even when they did, like I felt like Kellen dropped the ball, so maybe it was just too many weapons. Also, we know that Dak Prescott really likes throwing the ball to tight ends. I don't know if it's because they're bigger targets or if it's just easier for him to see, but I'm all about really the window in the second round, possibly getting Trey McBride. That's his last name, Trey McBride. I'm all about getting Trey possibly there to help Dak Prescott, and that also helps our defense as well. Helps us in the play action game, and it also helps us with chunk plays and stuff of that nature. So, Dre the Great says Kenyon Green looking like the pick DMV. And if he is, I'm not mad at the pick. I mean, it is what it is. That's a safe pick. For me, if somebody falls to us like a Jordan Davis or a Karlaftis, I'm picking those guys over Kenyon Green because I personally believe we can get a guard later on in the draft. But for me, sometimes like I feel like Karlaftis is a day one starter. I feel like Jordan Davis is a impact player. If I'm looking at impact players, I don't know if there's a player in the draft that will have a bigger impact than Jordan Davis. Maybe Jamison Williams when he gets back from being injured. And that's another guy too that if I feel like he's the best player on the board, he's a guy that I would take a risk on with him being hurt because I feel like him being healthy, he's the number one receiver in the draft. You know, that's how I feel about it. Me and Tuck talked about it. If they pick Jamison Williams, I, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I wouldn't be pissed off because I know what he can do. He runs routes really well, and he has that speed. So, yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'm with Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is who I want. So hear that again, because a lot of people will hear, oh, he wants Jameson. He wants Jameson from Alabama. Jordan Davis. I think that he is the impact player that we are looking for, and I think that he would help Micah Parsons. Dre the Great says Dean next to Parsons would be a game changer. Definitely. I really like N'Kobe Dean, and I'm not one of those guys that feels like, oh, he's a small backer. Let's not take the small backer. Like, I'm not with that at all. I think that he's a really good player. He's a baller. Sometimes you just have to take ballers. Somebody's going to take him, and he's going to be good there. They said the same thing about Nick Bolton last year. And look at Nick Bolton and what he was able to do in Kansas City. So sometimes you just got to throw those measurables out the window. And when you get a baller, you know what I'm saying, you let them ball. It is what it is, you know. But yeah, guys, feel free, shoot some questions, shoot some comments. I'm here. I'm just sitting here at the airport. I got a little bit, got an hour or so before my flight hits. So facts can't teach instincts. Yeah, Dre the Great. That's exactly where I'm at, bro. Sometimes it's about playing football and getting the best football players available. You know what I'm saying? And if he's the best football player available, go take him. You know what I'm saying? Like, too many teams get caught up on those measurables in the underwear Olympics and all of those things like arm length and hand length and all that type of stuff. And none of that stuff really matters. Jada Gray says, "Who are some of your favorite later round receivers?" I like Christian Watson. If there was a pet cat that I had as far as one of the later round receivers, I would say Christian Watson out of North Dakota State. He is 6'4". He ran a 4.3. He's pretty solid. I like the kid from SMU. I forget what his name is, but he's really solid. And I like John Mechie out of Alabama. I really think that Mechie in the mid rounds could be a really good pick for Dallas, um, because I think that he could day one come in and replace what we lost from Cedric Wilson departing. So John Mechie is somebody for you guys to keep on your radar. He's somebody that I think is going to be in the later mid rounds. He's somebody that can, be really good for us. D Block 88 says, yes, Jordan Davis is my prayer pick too, but I don't believe the Cowboys are even looking at him. I mean, look, we didn't think that they were looking at Micah Parsons last year either. So keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? Keep that prayer, brother. Keep that prayer. We also didn't think that they were looking at CD Lamb either. So, yeah. Francisco Hernandez says we need defensive tackle number 99. Absolutely. We definitely need that. I'm with that wholeheartedly. What is my take? Jada Gray says, what is your take of Stephen Jones saying they only have 14, 16 first round grades? Do you agree? Yeah, I do. I agree with that. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a draft of not so much impact, but it's more so a depth draft. So keep in mind, 14 and 16 first round grades might mean that they don't have a first round quarterback, which I could definitely see because I don't necessarily believe Malik Willis is really a first round quarterback. This quarterback draft isn't as great as normally, but he's probably your number one. Kenny Pickett as well. Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral. So normally in first round you have 4 or 5 quarterbacks that go. You could have 4 or 5 quarterbacks going, and I doubt it. You could have 3 or 4 that go in the first round of this one, but this would be them just picking a quarterback. It's not necessarily them picking based on first round grade. They just might feel like it's an investment for them to get that quarterback, if you get what I mean. So I could definitely see them saying that. And then if they don't really value, if Dallas, like they talked about, they don't really value safety so much high, and they don't really value interior defensive linemen, I could definitely see where 14 to 16 could be on their board. So yeah, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I definitely get it. Francisco Hernandez says, which tight end in the draft do I like? I like a couple of them. So I like Trey McBride. I like Greg Dulcich. I like Jake Ferguson out of Wisconsin. I think he's going to be later. I like Jelani Woods. I think that he's going to be in the mid rounds. I like Isaiah Likely out of Coastal Carolina. He offers a threat at the wide position. I don't know if he's so much of a tight end, but he has, some tools there. I like Cole Turner out of Nevada. I like the kid out of Washington. I think I forgot what his name is, but there's so many tight ends. I think the sleeper is Greg Dulcich. I say he's the sleeper because nobody has him as number one, but he has just as much ability in the pass game that Trey McBride has. So watch out for Greg Dulcich. Yeah, tight ends, man. Actually, tight ends. There's a really deep ass tight end class, really deep tight end class. So don't just look at Dallas possibly drafting one, but also look at them to get unrestricted free agents at tight end too, because I, for some odd reason, Jake Ferguson is low on everybody's board. There's a guy Ruckert out of Ohio State who a lot of people are high on. To me, he reminds me of a carbon copy of Dalton Schultz. To me, You know what I'm saying? When I watch his tape, but I know that record is going to be, in the middle rounds. Dre the Great. I'm going to meet up with J Tuck, Camber, uh, Mary Ella from Star Gang, Spoonie from Star Gang, Professor O from Star Gang, my guy Elton. If you're familiar with Elton, who's been on the channel a couple times, Elton's gonna be out there. And yeah, I mean, I don't know everybody, but I'm pretty sure that everybody will be on my channel, and I'll be doing a lot of interviews and stuff like that. So I can't wait. Dre the Great says so many people slept on balls. Put me on the LB from Auburn as a dog. Yeah, I gotta go back into my linebacker bag to be honest with you. Oh, I like Chad Muma out of Wyoming. That's a sleeper right there, possibly a second round pick. So look up Chad Muma, cause dude is a baller. But like Jay Tuck was telling me, and I'm starting to see it now. You know, the gap between backers, between like first rounders and then the rest of the class is a big one. So you kind of if there's a backer that you really want, you might have to take him because it's going to be it's going to be crazy. My flight boards in about 30 minutes. But yeah, guys, I'm getting ready to hop off of here and charge my phone a little bit. But it's been great chopping it up with you guys. I'll probably be going live again, and I'm supposed to be Mark Holmes's correspondent from Vegas. So Mark's gonna be hitting me up. I'll be jumping on a couple of times on his channel. So make sure that you go check it out there as well, and you know keep hitting that like button, keep supporting, and I'll be putting out content, guys. All right, peace.